Hello everyone, I'm Ellen Morrow. You're watching CBC News Network. We begin with some breaking news out of Fort McMurray, Alberta. The evacuation order caused by a wildfire outside of the city has been lifted and residents can now head home. Sam Sampson is in Fort McMurray and has more.
People have been out of their homes since Tuesday, and so the news was the 6,600 people who were forced out of 4 different neighborhoods here in Fort McMurray, Alberta, because of the wildfire, can now return effective immediately. And actually, we were just chatting with a couple of people who were making the trip home right away. They were staying right in the community of Fort McMurray. Now, on top of the evacuation order that's been lifted, the evacuation alert that was in place for the rest of the community has also been lifted, and the local state of emergency is now also over. So, return to normal as normal can be when there is still a wildfire burning about 5.5 kilometers from the community's landfill. The status of the fire then, they believe it is safe enough for everybody to continue living in Fort McMurray, even though they say because of the size of the wildfire, which is just under 200 square kilometers in size, it will continue burning for potentially months. So there might still be smoke when you come back over the next few days when things dry up after the rain is done. But it is safe to come back. Now, when you do come back, the mayor here in the RM of Wood Buffalo just has a message for residents. Take a listen.
While this return home is good news and a result of a lot of hard work, I can also recognize that it comes with a range of emotions for everyone. As you make the journey home, please take your time, be safe, and reach out for help or someone to talk to if you need to. It's really important we continue to support and be there for each other now for the rest of the summer during this wildfire season.
And he's hinting there, right? This is still pretty early in the wildfire season. It's only May long weekend, and so there are a lot of emotions that come with evacuation orders. I've never been through one, but that's what I've been hearing from different people here in Fort McMurray. Of course, those memories of the 2016 fire that burned through neighborhoods in Fort McMurray, forced everybody else all at once. Those memories have been triggered by this evacuation order. So what he's saying there is there are mental health supports and just community supports in general for people as they return to Fort McMurray.
So, Sam, as you said, this is a relief for those residents who can now go home. Officials saying it's safe enough to return, but the fire is still burning nearby. What can those residents expect when they do return back?
Well, there is a little bit more good news as well. We are in one of the communities that was ordered to leave. This is Prairie Creek. And so if you're coming back to this or the 3 other neighborhoods, you can expect that your house is the same as you left it. The utilities were still on. RCMP were reporting no damage or structural damage to any of the homes. As it stands now, there were still some businesses that were open and closed because thousands of people were ordered away, which means thousands of employees potentially weren't able to work. So there might be still a state of flux as you return to Fort McMurray. Schools and daycares were also closed over the week. However, they will reopen on Tuesday after the May long weekend, which is a relief for some families.
It's been a huge struggle because schools have been closed and daycares followed suit. And, they say we're open for business, but it's really difficult when you have no childcare. There's no daycare, there's no school, and parents are expected to be at work.
It is tough, right? Because families have had to make adjustments, but that is all over now because people can return to Fort McMurray. A reminder, though, that there is still a provincial fire ban in effect for much of this region because as much as officials say this fire is now safe to be around in general, they were trying to prevent more starts, especially over the May long weekend.
All right, Sam, thank you for that update. The CBC's Sam Sampson in Fort McMurray.